There is a man in Okinawa, Japan, who is 96 years old. He wakes up at 5:30 every morning without an alarm. He tends his garden, eats breakfast with his wife, walks to visit a neighbor, and spends the afternoon doing exactly what he loves. He does not have a productivity system. He does not track his macros. He does not meditate for an hour or journal his goals or optimize his morning routine. He simply lives with a quietness and an ease that most people in the Western world spend their entire lives chasing and never quite reaching. What does he know that we do not? The answer is not one thing. It is 9 things. 9 habits so simple they feel almost too small to matter, until you realize that these same 9 habits have produced the longest living, calmest, most purposeful people on the planet. And not one of them costs money. Not one of them requires discipline. They simply require a different way of moving through your day. Sodhar is breaking all 9 of them down, starting right now. Habit 1: hara hachi. Stop before you are filled. Every meal in Okinawa begins with the same invisible rule. Eat until you are 80% full and then stop. Not because of calorie counting, not because of diet culture, because the human brain takes approximately 20 minutes to register fullness after the stomach receives it. By the time you feel completely full, you have already eaten past the point your body needed. Okinawans who follow hara hachi consistently consume around 1,900 calories per day, nearly half the average of a Western adult, not through restriction but through attention. They eat slowly. They eat without screens. They notice. And 20 minutes after the meal, fullness arrives exactly where it should, without the heaviness, the bloating, the afternoon crash that follows most Western meals. You do not need a new diet. You need to pause 2 bites earlier and wait for your body to catch up to your mind. Habit 2: shinrin yoku. Let the forest do the work. In Japan, there is a practice called shinrin yoku, which translates as forest bathing, and it is exactly what it sounds like. You go outside, you walk among trees, you breathe the air, you do not exercise, you do not listen to a podcast. You simply exist in a natural environment without agenda, and the science behind what happens next is genuinely remarkable. Trees release airborne compounds called phytoncides, natural chemicals that, when breathed in, measurably reduce cortisol levels, lower blood pressure, increase natural killer cell activity in the immune system, and shift the nervous system from its stressed sympathetic state into its calm parasympathetic state. A 2-hour walk in a natural environment produces immune benefits that last for up to 30 days. Japan has over 60 designated shinrin yoku trails across the country. You need one quiet park, no phone, no earphones, just the air and whatever is growing around you. Habit 3: ofuro, the bath that ends the day. In Japan, the evening bath is not about cleanliness. It is about transition. The ofuro, a deep hot Japanese bath taken 60 to 90 minutes before sleep, does something that no sleep supplement or white noise machine can replicate. The hot water raises your core body temperature significantly. When you step out, your body begins to cool. And that cooling, that specific drop in core temperature, triggers the brain's pineal gland to release melatonin, the hormone that initiates deep sleep. Harvard Medical School research confirmed that blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production for up to 3 hours after exposure. The ofuro replaces the screen with something physiologically powerful. You are not fighting your phone at night. You are giving your body something better to do instead. Warm water, slow breathing, temperature drop. Sleep. Habit 4: ma, the practice of doing nothing. In Japanese aesthetics, ma means empty space, the gap between notes in music, the pause between words in conversation, the silence between thoughts. And in Japanese daily life, ma is not wasted time. It is protected time. The brain's default mode network, the system that activates during rest and quiet, is responsible for emotional processing, creative problem solving, memory consolidation, and self-understanding. It only activates when you are doing nothing. When you are scrolling, listening, watching, processing external stimulation, the default mode network is suppressed. Every quiet moment you eliminate is a moment your brain cannot do its most important internal work. Japanese culture has always protected ma, the pauses, the silences, the unhurried transitions between things. You do not need to meditate. You simply need to stop filling every empty second with stimulation and let your mind do what it was designed to do when you leave it alone. Habit 5: ikigai, the reason you get up. Before you get out of bed tomorrow morning, ask yourself one question. Not what do I need to do today? Not what is on my calendar. One question only: what makes today worth living? Ikigai is the Japanese concept of a reason for being, but in its daily practical form it is simply a reason for today. Research published in Psychological Science found that people with a strong daily sense of purpose show lower cortisol levels, better cardiovascular health, stronger immune function, and significantly longer lifespans than those without it. Not life purpose, daily purpose. The difference between waking up with something to move toward and waking up to simply get through another day is one of the most measurable biological differences in human health. It takes 10 seconds. Ask the question every morning, answer it honestly, then get up. Habit 6 Kaizen, get 1% better, just 1. Western culture is obsessed with transformation. The dramatic overhaul, the complete reset, the new year, new you. Japan is obsessed with Kaizen, which means continuous improvement through the smallest possible steps. Toyota built one of the most efficient manufacturing systems in human history, not through revolution, but through thousands of tiny daily improvements repeated consistently over decades. The science behind this is called the aggregation of marginal gains, the mathematical reality that a 1% improvement repeated daily produces a 37 times improvement over 1 year. Not 37%, 37 times. You do not need to change everything today. You need to improve one thing by the smallest possible amount and do it again tomorrow. That is Kaizen. That is how Japan builds everything, quietly, incrementally, and with complete patience for the process. Habit 7 Mokushoku, eat in silence. The average Western adult eats while watching something, scrolling something, or thinking about something that has nothing to do with the food in front of them. And the brain, which is designed to process one thing deeply at a time, registers the meal as background noise, triggering the same neurological response as eating while distracted, which research consistently shows leads to consuming 25 to 30% more food, significantly less satisfaction, and a weaker fullness signal. Mokushoku is the Japanese practice of silent eating, no screens, no background noise, no conversation during the first portion of a meal, just the food. The texture, the temperature, the flavor, your hunger signal, your satisfaction signal. When you eat in silence, your brain registers the meal fully. You eat less because you need less. You feel more satisfied because you were actually present for the experience of eating. Silence at the table is not antisocial. It is profoundly respectful of the food, the body, and the moment. Habit 8 Inemuri, the productive nap. In most Western cultures, falling asleep at your desk is a sign of laziness. In Japan, it is called inemuri, which translates as sleeping while present, and it is widely accepted as evidence that you are working hard enough to need rest. A 15 to 20-minute nap taken in the early afternoon between 1 and 3 p.m., when the human circadian rhythm naturally dips, has been shown in research from NASA, Harvard, and the National Sleep Foundation to improve cognitive performance by 34%, increase alertness for up to 3 hours, reduce cortisol levels significantly, and dramatically improve mood and emotional regulation. You are not tired in the afternoon because you are weak. You are tired because your biology is designed to rest at that exact time. Japan works with human biology. Western culture tells you to push through it with your third coffee. The research and the longevity data shows clearly which approach produces better outcomes. Habit 9 Moai, for people who actually know you. The Blue Zones research, the most comprehensive longevity study ever conducted across the world's longest living populations, identified one factor more consistently than any other. Not diet, not exercise, not genetics, belonging. In Okinawa, this takes the form of moai, a small committed group of 4 to 5 people who support each other emotionally, financially, and practically across an entire lifetime. Not a social network, not a group chat. A small, permanent, intentional circle of people who genuinely know you and show up for you. The Harvard study of adult development, 80 years of continuous research into what makes people thrive, reached exactly the same conclusion. The single strongest predictor of long-term health, happiness, and longevity was the quality of close relationships. Not wealth, not achievement, not productivity, relationships. Most adults today have hundreds of connections and almost no one who truly knows them. Your moai does not need to be large, it needs to be real. So here is what Sodhar wants you to carry with you from these 9 habits. Not a list of things to do. A single idea that the life you are exhausted from living is not inevitable. Japan did not produce the world's calmest, longest living, most purposeful people through extraordinary willpower or expensive systems. It did it through ordinary rhythms. Small things done the same way every day until they stopped being habits and became identity. Eat until 80% full. Walk among trees, take a warm bath, protect your silence, find your reason for today, improve one thing by 1%, be present at your meals, rest in the afternoon without guilt, and find 4 people who actually know you. None of these are complicated. None of them cost money. All of them require only one thing, the decision to stop living at full speed and start living with full presence. That is the Japanese secret. Not more, better, not faster, deeper, not perfect. Real. Start with one, just one, the one that felt like it was written for you. You already know which one it is.